Hi, I'm Stanley Reisler with Coney Island Transfer, representing Sublimation and More Facebook groups and Sub and More YouTube videos. Today we'll be making a Valentine's Day mug template from start to finish. First we'll design it, then we'll press it. Here we go. Okay, and let's get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I have 6 layers. 1, 2, 3 already I have. I'm going to do 4, 5, and 6. 2, 3, 4, yes. Okay. On layer number 1, I want to drag my mug template from my desktop. If you don't have a mug template, it's very simple, because all you need is a rectangle box, which you can make with your rectangle tool, and it needs to be 8.875 long and 3.25 inches high, and it'll create this box, this rectangle. Okay. Now on layer 2, I'm going to draw myself a rectangle. I'm going to need 4 of them for this project. I'm going to do this one just like this, and I'm going to duplicate it. Edit, duplicate. I'm going to put this box in position. Right there. Okay. Now we have our left and our right boxes, and we're going to need 2 more on the right side of our template, leaving the center open. Okay. Let's get started. I'm going to shut off my layer 1. That's why I have so many layers, so I can turn them on and off as I need. And our template is gone. I'm going to click my left button on my mouse, pull down, and it's going to activate both boxes at the same time. I'm going to edit, duplicate, and drag it to the side for a second. I'm going to come back, and I am going to turn on my layer 1 to see where I'm at, and I'm going to line this box up just like I did the other 2 to make it look symmetrical, hopefully. And I'm going to adjust with my up and down arrow keys and nudge until I believe it looks the same. And I believe we are pretty close right there. Okay. Now, I have 4 rectangles on one layer. I'm going to populate layer 3, 4, and 5 with the other rectangles. So I'm just going to drag them up to layer 3, highlight, hold with the left mouse button, drag up to layer 4, highlight the rectangle, click the left mouse, drag up to layer 5. Okay, now each rectangle is on a different box. Let's start with shutting off all 4 boxes. 1, all 4 layers, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we're back to our template. I'm going to right click my mouse and select my pre-selected. Oh, hold on, I gotta activate layer 1, sorry. Activate my layer, right click, import, Okay. Right click, import, and I'm going to grab my background, which I had pre-selected in a folder just for this project. I'm going to left click, and now I have my digital paper background. Just moving it over a little bit. While the background is still highlighted with its bounding boxes around it, and the layer is selected in the correct spot, I'm going to right click it. Oh, actually, first, let me step back a second. Let me shut off the other layers that I didn't want. Gotta make sure that these guys are on the same. Layer 1 is the background and the template. Just turn off my other layers so it doesn't get confusing, which I hope I haven't already. Now I'm selecting my background again on layer 1, making sure the bounding box is around it, selecting power clip inside, and I'm pointing at the template to go in the center of the big rectangle. Now you'll notice it's off center because I had it all the way over to the left. So if you notice at the bottom here, there are 4 choices to make. Exactly, 4 choices. The second one right here is select the power clip contents, and that is our digital paper, our background. Select it. Now you'll notice I got boxes very wide again around. I'm going to drag the center, and there it is, the whole thing, see? I'm going to center it. See if I like if it looks good that way. I personally think the hearts are a little bit too big, so I'm going to drag my bounding box, hold down my left mouse button, and bring it in. I'm going to recenter it, and bring it in just a little bit more. How does that look to you guys? I think that looks pretty good. I'm just going to lower it a little bit so I can get a whole row. I don't know if you notice what's happening here. But now I centered it so I have a row at the very bottom of the design and a row at the very top of the design. And I tried my best with the left and right, but that'll work good just the way it is. I click the outside. It shuts off. It's power clipped in again. And you can see that it only highlights my template. If I move my template, my background moves in unison, parity. Let's turn on layer number 6. Let's see if I can import a picture. Yes, I can. Just making sure I need them all turned on. Okay. Our first picture is me and my wife. They're actually all me and my wife. It's a very old picture. You guys remember to show you that it moves in unison. I actually unaligned everything I did, so for a minute I'm just going to turn it back on, highlight my template, bring it back to where it looks like it belongs. There we go. Okay, folks. I got it back to where I want it. So, we're going to be working on layer 2. See, turning on and off, which is our upper left-hand template box that we put in for the collage. And I'm going to turn off 3, 4, and 5, just so it's not confusing. I'm going to click my picture. I'm going to right-click it, I'm going to select power clip inside. Oop, wait, I need to back up a step, folks. I need to turn off the actual layer with the mug template in it. There we go. Selecting my picture again, right clicking, bringing up the menu, left clicking, selecting power clip inside. I get my arrow to where I want it to go, right there. But again, it's a little missized, so I'm going to come over to the second selection, which is select power clip contents, click it, and it brings back my original picture. You can see the bounding box got very wide. I'm going to hold shift so it shrinks proportionally, and I'm going to bring it down just a little bit so we can see me and my wife. Okay. Click the outside, and now it's power clipped inside. So if I move this box around, the picture will move around in unison, which I'm not going to make that mistake again and unline everything. Okay. I'm going to turn everything back on again so I can see what's going on and how we look. And that's how we look. I'm going to pick another box. I want to pick... I want to work on layer 4. So I want to shut off everything. I want to import. See, I made that same mistake again. Import. And now I'm going to pick this picture. Me and my wife. Me and my lovely wife. Actually, I'm sorry. I'm not going to use that one. Import again. Same picture uncropped. Okay. This way I can show you correctly. So, I'm going to turn off Mug 2, which is my background and my template. Oh, I can't do that because I made a mistake. I'm going to drag my image up to layer 6, which is a blank layer. Okay. Now when I shut off layer 1, my picture won't disappear. It's on layer 6. Okay. My picture is highlighted, bounding boxes, layer is selected with the picture. Right click, left click and select power clip inside. Arrow, point towards my power clip frame or my rectangle that I had made. Left click and place. Very good. But I would like to make the picture more of us and not so much of the background. So I want to select on the bottom on the menu here, select power clip contents. And I'm going to drag the picture over a little bit to the left. And then I want to drag the bottom here, this over, so you can see us holding hands. And a little bit less of the background. Now I'm going to click the outside, and it's locked in. I'm going to turn everything back on again. And this is where we're at. So, the next step, I want to import another picture, but I'm going to remember to select layer 6 this time, so I'm importing directly to layer 6, so when I shut everything off again and make it invisible, our picture that we're working with will not disappear. Okay. Import, and I'm going to select, use this, we'll use this. Let's use this very old picture. This one is over 20 years old. This one is over 20 years old. Small, but it is a high DPI 300, so hopefully when I stretch it, I won't lose too much. Okay, I lost a little, but not terrible. I'm actually going to resample this picture. So I'm going to come up here to, while it's highlighted, I'm going to go up to bitmaps, resample, left click it, select it, and I'm going to put it back to 300 dpi. Just to make sure I print enough ink. Now, with it highlighted, right click, left click and select, power clip inside. Made the same mistake, guys. Got ahead of myself, sorry. I need to shut everything off again. Layer 1, layer 2, layer 4, and layer 3. I would like this one to go into layer 5, which is this box selected. Select the layer and image, it's highlighted, right click it, select power clip inside, point at the box where you would like it to go into, left click, and it's in. It's not centered, it's not in the position I would like, so once again, at the bottom, I am going to select power clip contents, left click and select, and now I can highlight the center, and bring it down a little. Okay, that'll do. Click on the outside, and let's turn everything back on again. I know it's a lot of repetitious, but at least this way you can see what we're working on. Okay, now our last image. Let's select layer number 6 again. Now every time we import to layer 6, and then we power clip it, it moves the image from layer 6 to the layer that has the power clip frame. So we can keep reusing layer number 6. Okay, let's turn everything off again. Layer 5, layer 4. We're going to be working on layer 3. Let's get rid of layer 2. And finally layer number 1. Highlight layer number 6 again, our active layer. Right click. Import our last image in. Okay. There's also a little shortcut you could do. If you have only the power clip frame that you'll be using, then you could drag the image by the center and hopefully, oh, it's not working. Sometimes when you drag, sometimes when you drag the image over your power clip frame, it highlights with a box that says to hit W to add the contents to the frame. It didn't work. So we'll do it the old-fashioned way. Image highlighted, right click, select power clip inside with the left mouse button, pointing to where we want it to be placed, make a left click, and there it is. Again, we're going to select the power clip contents, stretch it out a little bit, center it up a little bit, click the outside and set the image. We're almost done, folks. Now, we're going to do a little bit of writing. And we're going to add a funny little line. Select Foil X Girls is a font that I have. And I want to type in through thick or, not end, but or thin. I'm actually going to hit enter so I can change the line. Then I'm going to come up here to my horizontal alignment and select center, left click. Now, I'm going to drag the box, size it up a little bit. Change the color to red. Now, I want to show you something up here, folks. I have two palettes open. I have my CMYK and I have my RGB. Let's take a look at the color comparisons. Let's look at dull green, CMYK. Again, dull green RGB. Look at the difference of the vividness, everybody. Here again is my CMYK on the left. We're looking at chartreuse. Now we're looking at chartreuse RGB. You see they're the same name, same color, but it looks different. Much more vivid in RGB, everybody. So make sure when you design in RGB to get the closest you can to your color that you want to use. Let's look at some other colors so you can understand a little bit better, because sometimes I see members of ours post some pictures of their mugs or their projects, and they say my red came out a little flat, or it came out a little dull, or a little fuzzy. It's possible you might have designed in CMYK. Here's my CMYK red. Here's my CMYK RGB. Okay? Same name, two different palettes, but look how much vivider the red is compared to an RGB compared to the CMYK red. It goes for all our colors. Here's our neon red, which doesn't look very neon at all when it's in CMYK. Looks so much better in RGB. So, with that said, this box highlighted, I'm picking my RGB red for my color. And I left click the color to change the color of my font, my text. This is what it would have looked like in CMYK. A little flatter, a little duller. Going back to RGB red. Now I have a PNG graphic that I'm going to use as a word for the middle. So, layer 6 again. Well, actually, I'm going to make a new layer. It's going to be layer 7. So I don't have to move my text. And I'm going to import, right click, select from the menu, import, left click. My folder opens, and I'm selecting Lovetastic. Bring down the size a little bit. Oh, there's that box I was talking about, but we're going to ignore it. I'm not going to hold W and I'm not going to hold K. I'm just going to ignore it by placing the object on top of, but not in. And it's Lovetastic. I'm going to make that just a little bit smaller. Move it over to center it up a little bit. Okay. And one more layer, new layer, layer number 8. We'll import another graphic, and some scrolls, and a heart. Okay. I am going to select my layer 6. I want to make that a little smaller. Bring my left-tastic up a little bit. I want to make my scroll just a little bigger. Not my scroll. Just my fancy heart. Artistic leaves. I want to highlight my frame here. See where the center of that is? It lies just about the T. So I'm going to select this. Just make sure my center is just about the T. Now, to finish it up, I am going to highlight my frame, my original template frame, come up to the top of my RGB, and want to right click this X to make the black outline invisible. Okay. Now we highlight each one of these, and I like making them all invisible. Get rid of all our black outlines. Right click the X up top. Left click my box. Come over here, right click the outline. Now they're all invisible. Now, just so you know, let's come back to this. I highlighted one of my boxes. It could even be the big one, the main template. Depends on what you're looking for and the look that you would like. You can right click with any of these boxes highlighted. You can right click a color. Let's say something in contrast with the red. Let's go with one of these pale blues. Baby blue. Powder pastel blue. Right click it. That frame now became pastel blue around that upper left hand image on layer number 2. So let's say it's very thin and you would like it a little bit thicker. We come down to the bottom here and we left click our outline pen tool twice and it pops up. There it shows the color of our outline, and hairline is what it is, but we could bring it to 4.0 if you like. Select behind fill and scale with object. Hit OK. And now you have a fatter outline around your boxes. You could do them all the same color, all different colors. I'm selecting to have no color. Highlight the box, right click my X, and now I have no outlines around anything, and that seems to be it. So now in a few minutes I'm going to go and we're going to press the mug. Okay guys, see you in a minute. Okay, now we're going to print what we just made. I had to save it on my desktop. I had to come to a different computer. And we're going to come over here to print. First I go for my preferences and I pick my paper type. Then I go to pre-press, and I select mirror. And now it mirrored my image. I come over to general, and I select my SG800 Sawgrass. Okay, I keep my paper in this container. I use mug paper. So I don't have to cut down my other paper. Now this is the part I hate. So we have a machine that's made for sublimation, and a lot of people sublimate mugs. So I gotta put the paper in, white side, bright side, face down. And the guide doesn't push it in all the way. So a lot of times when you close the machine and you pop it back into place, the paper also comes back too far and it doesn't feed correctly. So once it's in, you gotta stick your fingers in and make sure it's pushed forward correctly. Close everything. Come back over here. I hit OK. And now, with any luck, everything will go correctly. Don't worry, I have plenty of ink and backup waiting for when it runs out. Now while it's printing, I want to show you something. I had a design I had to make on shirts for somebody, and they wanted it on a red shirt, and I was trying to show them why their blue design would not look so great on a red shirt. But then I showed them how good it would look on a blue shirt. Same design, same print, same template. So this is why it's important to have swatches of the different color shirts that you offer, to help people understand sometimes why you can't give them what they would like. Okay. Beautiful. So now I'm going to take my mug. Actually, I'm going to take one from over here. I guess that'll work. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to come over here. I get my handy microfiber towel, which removes anything that might be on the mug. Because sometimes when you get lint or whatever, it leaves a little purple stain like it was ink. We don't need that. Okay, put my mug down. I make sure that the hole is on the top, the heads are facing up, and I can see the middle compared to the heart, the handle. Now, everybody does things a little bit different. So I want to make sure that's up high enough and equal. That's very important. You see that's just about equal to there. So I'm going to secure just one side. I have my tape dispenser. And I'm only going to secure this side. And I'll tell you why. Because I like taking my fingers and making sure it's smoothed out and you don't get any of this stuff. Because that's what leaves ghosting. So I like pushing it around and then lining it up again. Because we don't want any spacing or gapping. Sometimes it's hard to get it just right, but you can. There we go. I want to put another piece right here. Try not to put too much on the paper, and mostly on the mug. Okay, just going to turn this on. This is my Georgianite mug press. It'll take a second to heat up. And while we're waiting, I want to show you. In order to adjust it, you got to pull the handle forward a little bit so it's loose. And then you have the turn knob. So sometimes it might be a little tight. It came with an Allen key that fits in. And you can adjust it either way you need. Loose or tight. We're at 122 degrees. While we're waiting for that to come up to temperature, we have our mug, everything nice and tight. And I take a regular piece of plain copy paper, and I wrap it around my mug. case there's any blowout or anything, or any fumes. I don't want to get it on my green liner that heats up. It's very important to make sure everything is dust free. And we're already at 230 degrees. We just have another second or two. And you know, while we're waiting, my daughter's not going to like this. And I don't know if I want to make a video of my workspace. Ah, yes, I will. But I want to show you a little bit of my workspace and some of the things that I might keep, or very sloppily keep, unfortunately. I keep my mugs and a couple of items just in these bins. I have some coasters and stuff. Some pennants for like at the game to sublimate. And we should be just about ready. We're 350 degrees. Okay. Okay, we're 392, 391. It's heating back up. It's going to come up to just about where we need it by the time we get the mug in. I'm sliding it in sideways. You see? And I center the handle. It's very important to center the handle, because if you don't, it could snap right off. And that's a lot of pressure. Okay, so I have it set at 400 degrees for 3 minutes, 22 seconds. It was 3.5 minutes. It really came down a lot to 330 as soon as that mug went in. Wow. Usually doesn't go down that much. But I guess it's just cold. Well, we're down to 1 minute and 40 left, and it still only got up to 375, 379, 380. So, let's see what happens. It never usually happens, but it happens to be very cold down here tonight, and I guess the mug was a little chilly. So, it brought the temperature down. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, we got 6 seconds left. It just barely got up to 400 degrees. I'm going to leave it in for a couple of seconds longer because of the temperature. Usually it gets up there. Like I said, it's pretty chilly tonight. I have a bucket of water sitting here, which for obvious reasons we're not going to use. And I'm going to just rinse and bath. Heat. And there we have, the mug actually came out just as the colors were on the screen. My bottom picture looks a little burned, but all the other pictures look fine. And it just barely got up to 400. Through thick or thin, love-tastic. Okay, folks. Thank you very much. This is Stanley Reisler from Coney Island Transfer, representing Sub and More YouTube videos and Sub and More Facebook groups. Thanks and happy Valentine's Day. Be well.